Hey, Marshall Mathers the Fourth here. I just want to come to you guys with a video talking about the fact that none of you care about my suffering. Not a single one of you actually care. Because if any of you did, you would help me buy stuff that I've been extremely deprived of. And it's not like I'm asking you, oh, spoil me. It's not like I'm asking or expecting or even demanding that any of you give me $10,000 or $20,000 or some crazy shit like that. Not even if it were multiple people. That would be absolutely unfair, which I know and realize. But what shocks me is the fact that none of you, at the very least, even want to help me get, I don't know, a 4K Blu-ray player, which is $250 to $300. None of you want to help me get a PS4 Pro. None of you want to help me get a Nintendo Wii U or a Nintendo Switch or a Wii, which are all the gaming consoles that I want, and including the 4K Blu-ray player. So I would need probably around, like, I don't know, $2,000 or some shit like that. Maybe $3,000 at the most to afford all those things. But definitely at least $2,000. And it literally breaks my heart that not a single one of you, or even multiple ones of you, want to help me get that shit. Like, I'm still not necessarily demanding that anybody gives me any money at all. And it's not like I can force anyone either. Nor would I. But if any of you actually felt bad for me and pitied me like the way I do myself, and actually had compassion, then I feel like you would try to help me out buy stuff I want. You would try. And you would give me money as often as possible. As often and as frequent as any of you possibly could. And it pisses me off that all you motherfuckers been giving me for years on end now is just bullshit, stupid advice that I do not want and never did ask for in the first place. And I don't want to work at some stupid fucking goddamn dairy farm. Not that I wouldn't do that if I had literally no other choice. But I don't want to work there because I want to work at an Amazon warehouse. I want to make $16 to $35 an hour, not $10 or $11 an hour. That's nothing. And yeah, it is my fault for having expensive tastes. And yeah, it is my fault for looking up everything I have ever truly wanted in my life. And how crazy, insane expensive everything I want is. That is completely my fault. But there is nothing I can do except, oh, I don't know, try to afford it all. And it sucks that none of you even want to help me out buy even the gaming consoles I want, or the 4K Blu-ray player. None of you. You would rather laugh at me, mock me, harass me, bash me, attack me, judge me, when none of you realize or understand what the fuck I've been through. And how it honestly feels to have been so extremely deprived and underprivileged and oppressed to the extent I have as an American, as somebody born and raised in this godforsaken, corrupt country. And you know what is even more tragic than that? The only people who even want to help me and give me money are the people who are literally in the exact same situation as I am, the same boat. Because they know how it feels. They get me. They understand the hell, the torment, the torture, the agony, the pure misery I go through every day, emotionally and mentally, 24/7. Because they know how it is. And I have had multiple people who are in the same exact situation as me and who have, of course, suffered in the same way, who have admitted that if they did have money, they would give it to me and they would help me out as much as they possibly could. But then when people who do actually have money and who are living, a great or at least good or even at the very least okay life, and happy and are spoiled, rotten, and extremely overly privileged, don't want to help me. They'd rather laugh at my situation, mock me. They'd rather tell me to get a fucking job when I'm not even close to most jobs that I would even love to work and enjoy and be very interested in applying for, at least. I live in the country. And of course I'm not going to tell any of you my exact location. But just the fact that I'm in the country, and none of you seem to take my word for it, or even believe me for that matter. I bet a lot of you still believe I live in the city. And don't even live in the country and I'm just making this all up. But I do. And I live far away from the city. Any city for that matter, honestly. And in the same way, any opportunities that I could have or could have if I lived in the city. But unfortunately, I don't. Because I have no other choice but to go where my parents go. Live wherever my parents decide to live. Because I don't have a car, I don't have a driver's license, I don't have a job, or any income or money at all for that matter, whatsoever. So I can't go anywhere or do any fucking thing I want at all. I'm stuck pretty much where I'm planted. I'm pretty much stuck and trapped, being dependent on my parents, and I hate myself for it. It brings me nothing but shame, humiliation, and embarrassment of myself to even know, as a 22-year-old adult, that I am still dependent on my parents. It just makes me feel so worthless as a human being. Like, you don't know. You don't know. And the same people who absolutely refuse to give me any money at all, to help me in any way they possibly can, in the way that I wish that they would. If I were to die or whatever, somehow, some way, those same people would probably feel bad that they didn't help me when they could have. But who knows, they'd probably still laugh, and they'd probably still cheer if I were to die or something. I don't know. And also, the thing is, my parents don't care about my suffering either. And it's not like I don't talk to my parents about my suffering. I talk to my parents about my suffering a lot. I have for many years, ever since my teens. Ever since I started suffering in the first place, I've been nothing but open and honest and truthful to them. And I would always try to pour my heart out to them. Always try to make them understand what exactly I'm going through and how I feel. But to them, I'm just complaining. And my mom hates it that I complain. And she says that the devil loves it when you complain, or the devil wants you to complain. And my dad thinks I'm an idiot because I play the victim mentality. Or the victim card, in other words. And he thinks only stupid people do that. And my parents think all my suffering is totally 100% my fault. And that I'm the only one to blame for what I have gone through. And what I am still going through. And you know, even if I were to make money on the internet somehow, like YouTube or whatever, my dad told me that he would still hate it because my dad absolutely hates the internet. He considers the internet equal to Satan. Not that I necessarily believe in Satan. I don't even know what I believe in. I'm just kind of floating around to tell you all the honest truth. But I can't say I blame him for thinking of the internet like that. And I don't think the internet is necessarily Satan. I just think the people who invent it are just wicked and immoral, greedy, selfish people. And the people who get access to the internet and get spoiled beyond comprehension or beyond belief or whatever are wicked people and just pure, utter sewage that get access to and get spoiled to their heart's content. But anyone who's a moral person, a good person, even if they're not a Christian or whatever, or religious or spiritual, gets rejected by society, gets scorned and scowled, and never, no matter what, will fit into society because of how backwards it is, and most people in it. But like I said, not even anyone in my family understands my suffering. That's the tragic thing. The only one who understands me and gets me in my family is myself and myself alone. I'm pretty much my best friend, what it all comes down to. Like, me trying to talk to my parents about anything I feel or that I'm going through is pretty much equal and the same to trying to make scumbags on the internet trying to understand me. My life just sucks, everything about it. And I'm so frustrated. I missed out on so much. I've been deprived of so much. I didn't get to experience so much stuff as young as most people get to. And I'm a miserable wreck because of it. You don't know how it is. You have no clue. None of you. Technically, all of you could help me. But the choice is, do you actually want to? And you know, it's funny because if I were a girl, and if I were talking about all this shit, I would get spoiled immediately. Any girl who complains on the internet, because society deems it okay and normal for any girl to complain about anything she doesn't like or wants or whatever or doesn't have, and she'll get it just by complaining. She'll get it. But when it comes to a man, he gets nothing at all except trolled, harassed, laughed at, mocked, bullied, and judged. And most of you people on the internet, I hate with my whole heart, every bone, and every cell in my body. Because most of you motherfucking pussies have been so extremely privileged and spoiled rotten and grew up with a silver fucking goddamn spoon in your mouths. And you had the upper hand. You had a way better and bigger advantage than I ever did in my life. You had way more opportunities, way more things set in place for you in life. You had a way better situation, most of you did. Especially the ones born and raised in America, and even most countries, except third world countries. I'm out.